Yeah, Tokyo Drift is fucking incredible. I will not have Tokyo Drift hate in my
No,
don't
I
at
will
me,
not.
bro.
I will not abide Tokyo Drift hate.
I think those were the. I don't think I ever got past Tokyo Drift. Like, I think I've watched the only ones that I've watched before, and everything else was happening when I was supposed to be at work. So I was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift is sick. I fucking love Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift is great.
It's the underrated movie of the lot of them.
Yeah.
Just that stupid SUV thing, the Hulk one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
God.
It's like I'm jealous because I want that, but I would hate myself for buying that.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get this shit show on the road. And plus, Boston, it was only like 38 minutes.
I know, it's merely half the time it was last week. Good times. I'll wait for Nim to return from
you can go ahead.
Disgaea land.
I just need to turn my stupid fan on. It got so damn hot in here all of a sudden. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm ready.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpear.
Howdy.
And returning from parts unknown, the Nib.
Hello.
Oh no.
Patreon.com.
You don't understand.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do that for so long. I'm like, no, that's just stupid. And now I'm so giddy and tired that I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Stupid is part of our brand. So, like, yeah, let it rip, man. Patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, that's you.
The ones and numbers.
You could get
I
all
was
the cool...
aware. I was waiting for you to take a second to not say anything so I could say it, but then you ruined it.
Never breathing. You can get the early access behind the scenes. Last week's episode of Outcast was exceptionally long. Moon and I went pretty deep on a whole bunch of stuff. This week's episode likely not as long, but still very good. The Outcast.
We still haven't got to the midpoint yet.
Yeah, the Outcast, for those that don't know, is the uncensored stuff we talk about before we go live. That's all the. It's pretty much everything except for video games. What's going on in our lives, what we're watching, what we're listening to, reading, stuff like that. That's exclusive and uncensored for patrons.
Wrestling, Formula One.
Yeah, wrestling, Formula One, Arrowverse. If you want to catch up with that slow train wreck, you can get all that stuff. That's Patreon exclusive. You do get early access, 2-week early access to. Moon and I do a show about roguelikes called We Roguelike It. You get 2-week early access to that. And we just started a brand new game this week. And you get 2-month early access to Critical Misses, the show where Moon and I are kind of catching up on all the media hits we've missed. You can get all of that. Patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, so I honestly didn't play a lot this week.
Okay, what did you play this week that wasn't Hand of Fate 2?
Okay, so yes, we'll talk about that. We got Hand of Fate 2, which I played for New Roguelike It. We've got Boyfriend Dungeon, which we played for Game Club, which also comes out this week, I believe.
Yeah, Game Club should be out right now if you're listening to the audio version of this. We had a very good conversation about Boyfriend Dungeon, one of our longer episodes that we put out for Game Club.
Yes. Also, it is worth mentioning that every time you say available now, I panic because I still haven't uploaded my audio yet.
Right. Available now. Wink. Also, our next game, since we do talk about a whole ton of spoilers for Boyfriend Dungeon, our next game is Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. We always talk about that at the end of the episode, but if you don't listen to it because of spoilers, that's our next game.
Yes, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, anyway, other than those, I played a skosh of Song of Ireland. Song of Iron? Song of Iron.
Okay.
I I only played a little bit more of this, mostly because, to be honest, I kind of didn't have a lot of time this week, /stress /depression. So I played a little bit of Song of Iron, still enjoying it. I like the limbo aspect of it. I like the fact that it's shorter than most games because it means I don't have to grind out 1,050 hours worth of things.
Oh, you're not level 100 on your battle pass yet? Sheesh. Scrub.
Dude, I feel guilty about the fact that I haven't played Destiny in 2 weeks.
Hey, it's a 6-month season. You got plenty of time. The 30th anniversary event doesn't happen until December.
Except for that, this is going to happen every time with the battle pass, where it's like, hey, we got 2 weeks left. Oh, I'm still level 1.
Oh no!
Yeah, you will say it's a 6-month season pass all the way up until 2 weeks before it ends, and that's when I'll start playing.
Witch Queen's here. What are you doing, Moon? He's like, no.
I need to get those achievements before Witch Queen is out and done. Like that's what I need. I need to get those stupid
Nightfall.
Strike achievements. Yeah. Yes. The Nightfall and the Grandmaster Nightfall. Thank you. Stupid games. Anyway, Song of Iron is fine still. I will have more information on that later. So I'm starting to clear out my hard drive again.
Okay.
Cool.
Because I can't download anything, because every 2 weeks, 6 new games hit Game Pass, I hit download on them all and then never play them. So the hard drive problems are real, folks.
The Game Pass curse.
Yes. So I was like, okay, I've got a couple of games here with like a couple of achievements left. I'm just going to get rid of them off my system. I almost got rid of No Man's Sky. For the record, I almost did, until I realized that only very recently I helped somebody get the Center of the Earth thing.
Permit.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I still have my save file there, which is fine. If anybody needs a permadeath run, get to the Center of the Galaxy trophy / achievement, hit me up at Moonpier on Twitter or Xbox. And it does have crossplay, so I can help you if you're on PlayStation, just so you know. So I almost deleted that, but instead I deleted Astroneer.
Okay.
Because it's Astroneer, and even though it's only 2.9 gigs, I don't want the temptation of loading that game up.
Look at all this new stuff. Ooh, look at all these
patches. Starting a new save file and doing all of the automation stuff. It's just like, no, I don't need that.
The siren song of automation will pull you in.
Instead, I loaded up MLB The Show 21.
Oh, okay.
Because this was a game I had 2 achievements left in. Which, number 1 was pinpoint pitching, strike someone out. Which, for those of you who don't remember, when we were talking about MLB The Show, that's the directional, like, the fighting game inputs for pitching, where you have to do, like, 3/4 circles and then time it based on the throw animation and things like that. Spoiler alert, it's a sports game and it has sliders.
Oh, okay.
So I changed it to easy difficulty pitching. I changed the AI sliders so they always foul the ball if they even manage to hit it. And then I struck 3 people out and got that achievement, leaving me with 1.
Yes.
With 1 achievement left.
Nice.
And that 1 achievement was Dugout Walk, which is to get somebody out on base when they're leading off to do stealing. You need to get them out at a base without a contact, without anything like that. You need to pick somebody off.
Gotcha.
So that's very hard to do with the AI.
Right.
Even when you play with the sliders and turn everybody's base running aggressiveness up to the maximum, it's still very hard to do. And apparently all of the guides on TA have, like, specifically say, use Cleveland, use this right winger, or this right fielder, I should say. Change his stats to this, and then that's helpful. He doesn't play for Cleveland anymore. So when the live roster updates, I don't know who he plays for now.
Great.
And I'm not going to Google him.
Great.
So instead, I just did it with whoever the hell I wanted to. Tried it for like an hour or so. And then I thought, well, hold on a minute. The Xbox has got this really cool LFG system built into it. So I'm gonna dip my toe hesitantly into the LFG system on Xbox.
LF1M trophy boost or achievement boosting.
Well, funnily enough, it also has achievement hunting options as the tags in the looking for group system. And because it's built into the dashboard, you can specify the achievements.
Ooh.
So I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm looking for to trade this achievement with somebody else who doesn't have the achievements. It's like 21 people are looking to play. I scanned it, nobody else had achievement hunting ones. Which prompted an hour and a half of me getting messages and party invites from people who were high as hell. who just wanted to play Diamond Dynasty, talk about different variations of weed, and grind out glitches in the game to try and get more coins and points so they can do better in Diamond Dynasty.
I love that every LFG experience is like that, where it's like a very high but very well-meaning person in the middle of nowhere wants to play with you to very much not do the thing you're looking to do.
Which is essentially what it came down to. I got like 5 invites and I had to explain to 5 different people. It's like, no, I don't want to play a World Series mode with you. I don't want to play this mode that needs 12 people and it's midnight and you're the only person online. I don't know. I don't want to do any of this. I literally just want somebody to trade this achievement with me. It's 2 minutes of work.
You just need to step off of the base. That's it.
Nice and simple. It's all I need. And so I dealt with that for like an hour and a half, talking to random people who had incredible names and terrible names as well. By the way, that still exists.
Great.
Until I was like, let me see if there's any boosting sessions planned, because TA has a handy calendar feature where you can set up like gaming dates, so you can put in a date for I'm going to be available for these 2 hours on this one day, and I would like somebody else to help me do this achievement.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Destiny, except achievement hunting, where you you book it in advance and you say when you're going to be available.
Yep.
So I was like, let me see if there's any of them in there around about now or coming up soon. And of course, nobody has planned anything for it in TA. And I was like, well, great. So I went to the tour achievements, like achievement list, and specifically opened up the achievement that I don't have, because sometimes you can find some gold in the comments. And I went to the comments and was like looking to boost gamer tag, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, hello.
and it was posted 2 days ago. Ooh.
Oh, all right.
So very quickly jumped on my messages, sent this person a message. I was like, hey, do you want to trade that achievement? And I was a bit annoyed because it was like last online 50 minutes ago, and I was like, of course, if I'd done this first, rather than spent an hour and a half messing around with the 420 heads on Xbox, then it would have been great. But no, I had to wait till now. So I sent him a message like, hey, look, I just want to trade this achievement. If you're interested, let me know. Immediately get a message back saying, okay, on my way, I'll be on shortly. I was like,
nice. The other person on the planet that's like, yes, please, I need to finish my last one.
So they jumped in. They invited me into a game, which is good because I have no idea how to invite anybody into that game.
Yeah.
So they invited me in. We did it like I was batting first, so I had to remember how to bring the runner away from the bag further. So there was a lot of pausing and going into the control scheme because it's been a while since I played this game.
Right.
He got the achievement, immediately strikes me out. I got the achievement. It was like, cool, we both got it. Cool. Quit game, friendly quit, which means that you don't suffer any negative losses in your online profile. Not like it matters, because the second I was done with it, I dashboarded and uninstalled that game.
I was about to say, probably both of you uninstalled it, where it's like, yeah, good times, all right.
Yeah, because it's 75 gigs, dude.
Whoa, that's right, I forgot, Wolf.
Yeah.
Ha-cha-cha.
So yeah, I wrapped up that and I got all that done and dusted. It's like, oh,
nice. Congrats.
Oh, MLB The Show, 75 gigs off my hard drive, only 8 terabytes left to go.
1%
And
of your
that's
hard drive
provided I
free.
don't install anything else from Game Pass.
Right.
So, my final game is Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Ah, yes.
Because this is genuinely a fun game to just play. So the level that I think I talked about this last week or the week before, how like when we complete a level on my game, Rob doesn't seem to get credit for the last level we did.
Sure, yeah.
So I jumped onto his game and we did that last level again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I jumped back into I think we did that level and the next level, so we completed the second campaign mission. And then when I went back into my game, it's like, oh, I didn't get credit for that last level that we just did this time.
Ah, bummer.
I don't know if it's because I didn't talk to the person who you're supposed to talk to. I don't know if that was classified as a non-complete because I didn't talk to this person.
Mm.
But it's like, whatever. Okay, fine. I'll
You
have
knock
to do
it
the
out
level
twice.
again.
It's fine.
I didn't. The levels aren't huge. They're not long. They're like at most like 30, 45 minutes if you're going slow. 10 minutes if you speed run it. But we have now hit the point where the synths have started to appear.
Aha.
Specifically the ones that look like the working Joes.
Right.
So it's those kind of synths, not Ash synths, not Bishop synths, the bad synths, like the cheap knockoff ones, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got all of those coming in, and all credit where it's due. So we started playing and we're working our way through the level. Spoiler alert, we're going to a Weyland-Yutani facility. What? So who knew that the Weyland-Yutani company would still be in this game? So we're going into this facility and these synths are stopping us. So we start attacking all the synths, we kill the synths, and then as soon as all the synths are dead, Xenos start attacking us. And it's always the same routine. It's synths in the front, Xenos in the back.
Right.
Every time.
That's how I like to party.
It's like combat encounter after combat encounter. It's you go into a room and kill the synths, and then when you get to the back end of that room, the Xenos come from behind. Which that was a Rob call out because the second it happened the first time, he was legit. He said that, I'm like, that's how it's going to be from now on, isn't it? And it was like 5 combat encounters later. It's like, yep, it's been the same every single time.
That's the formula.
So Boston.
Oh no.
As somebody who is producing Patreon content,
Patreon
featuring the Alien franchise.
Yes.
The ones and numbers. Thank you very much. Every time you say it, I have to train myself so that every time you say that, I say that.
The dog.
It's going to take some time.
The whistle goes off.
Yes.
You guys will be finishing each other's sentences by the end of the year.
Yes.
You should listen to We Roguelike It.
Okay, so Covenant just hit the Patreon feed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel fine talking. I literally pulled up my phone to check what had just hit the Patreon feed, by the way. But part of this Weyland-Yutani facility is, the air vents in Aliens with the spinny slidey doors?
Yeah.
Giant versions of that in this cave.
Right.
So they get the spinny slidey doors, except it's not vents, it's just huge doors that do the whole open and close.
The iris thing or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
That's super cool.
And all of a sudden, there's big, huge human-esque faces carved into the side of this mountain.
Yeah, let's go. What's up?
So, where do you think we're going from here?
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
As an educated guess, what do you think?
Maybe something in the Prometheus era of alien movies, potentially.
Possibly, considering I think this is set 200 years or something after Aliens.
Okay.
So, minor spoiler alert, the companies took over, then the humans, then the government rebelled against the companies taking over. So now there was a frontier war where the companies launched dangerous weapons on two different planets and then blame the other side for both of the incidents to try and start a war. Like, some real good late-stage capitalism stuff going on right here, folks. But yeah, so the Marines are involved in a different way. They're not just corporate lackeys anymore, which is good.
Okay.
They are sent in to put the boots to the corporations when the corporations get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, there we go.
Much more like it, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it looks like we're heading down Engineer Alley, we'll say.
Yeah.
Which is that place you go in cons when, you know, there's just some weird tech sitting on the side of the
It's just Kensha Hall.
You know what? Actually, that's probably the best reference. But it's interesting. Like, they've added so much additional lore into the universe, but at the same time, they've also looped in the alien game that's scary that I can't remember the name of. Anytime.
Isolation.
Thank you. That's the one. They've looped in all of that lore as well, along with what looks like the Prometheus and Covenant lore, based on the fact that it looks like we're heading into an engineer facility. So that's good too.
Interesting.
And of course, we are on a planet that's called LV. Insert a bunch of random numbers here.
Right.
Got to keep with the themes.
Yeah.
But the sound design continues to be amazing. And of course, now I'm starting to unlock a whole bunch of different guns. I just got a flamethrower, which is hilarious because it's so badass. And at the same time, makes me feel a little bit bad that I did this, but also it doesn't. There's different kinds of aliens in the game. I think I've talked about this before. There's the chasers, the drones, the walkers, the so on and so forth. Right. One of the ones you get is a prowler, and they'll just sit on a ceiling, wait for you to walk past, and they'll jump on you out of nowhere, which is not terrifying at all. Basically. They're like hunters, but when they land on you, they literally pounce on you, hit you on the floor, and then you're going to do a QT to try and kick them off.
Oh, okay.
Or, your teammates can shoot them. In my case, Rob got pounced, and then I literally flamethrower the thing off him. But apparently it fills his screen with fire to the point where he can't see the QTE prompts.
Great.
Which feels like a bit of a weird design decision.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, they should always be front and center kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like that should be over the fire, but yeah.
So the good news is, anytime Rob annoys me, I pull out my flamethrower and just engulf him in flames so he can't see anything. His television just becomes a wall of orange.
So good.
And he has like a 78-inch television or something like that, so...
It just lights up the room.
Yeah.
So I found my troll move for the rest of this game, at least.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to keep in mind is when you bump up the difficulty one more notch to legendary, friendly fire gets turned on. So.
Okay.
Quite literally, I don't want to be a friendly fire person.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
So at that point, I think I'll switch to my shotgun.
Okay.
Probably. But yeah, it's fine. The game is fun. It's bad, but it's bad in all of the good ways, and it's good in all of the bad ways too.
Right.
It's definitely worth your time, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. And there's a horde mode in the game, but you can't play the horde mode until you complete the campaign.
Oh, geez. Okay. Interesting.
So every time we play it, Rob's like, there's a horde mode. I love horde modes. I need to play this horde mode, so we need to finish this campaign. It's like, cool, we'll do one chapter of one level tonight. Sounds like a plan.
Right. Slowly but surely.
There's 7 chapters, each with 7 sub-chapters.
That's right.
Dude, there's 4 campaign missions, and each of those missions has 3 chapters, essentially. So it's not even that long of a game. It's just because we have to play every level twice.
Yeah.
It becomes a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because at the same time, we're also grinding out XP and challenge cards and attachments.
Filling up your gun bars.
Yes, 100%. I bought a new gun which does like double the base damage of the pulse rifle, but it's only 0 stars at the moment, so I need to get that thing up to 4 stars ASAP.
Did you get that? Okay.
They introduced a new character class as well. So they give a character class for free, which is the Phalanx, which is a dude who walks around with a shield. Because why not?
Actually, what I was going to ask you if you got that new character I heard about.
Yeah, he one-hands a shotgun, so sure, why not? My favorite thing is when he reloads it, he like pulls it in and he's like got the shield up and he's like click, 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 click with the shield, just doing this wobbly dance.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but so far the game is fun. Like the challenge cards are going to be interesting when we feel like challenging ourselves, because some of those are like, oh hey, you don't have any abilities.
Oh, wow.
And I just got a couple like the other day, which is like play the game with a tactical viewpoint, which I think turns it into night vision mode.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
But it does things like, if it does that, it gives you like 1.5 times credits or experience or whatever. Like,
oh, wow.
It gives you bonuses for finishing the levels with these handicaps enabled kind of thing. But no, Fireteam is fine. It's fun. It's stupid. It's stupid in all the best ways, and that's the best thing I can say about it. But that is all I've been playing. Nimp, tell me about your 76 games, please.
Well, the first video game I played was called Stare at My Hotel Room Wall.
It's a classic.
Think about the poor decisions that brought me here.
Right.
Yes, so because I was on business trip fun stuff, I didn't bring any of my consoles with me, obviously, because hotel rooms do not like you plugging things into their TVs.
For real.
Did you bring your Vita at least?
No, I brought my Switch and my phone. So, getting into, before I left, I did play more Boyfriend Dungeon. I believe I have all the characters now, all the weapons now. The last one I got was the Scythe. And my wife was watching me play this because I completed the first dungeon. I now have the second dungeon open that I'm going through. And I got to this point where I ended up in this weird loop with text messages.
Okay.
Where I was constantly getting text messages. And I am really hating, this thing that developers are doing where they want to simulate somebody writing a text message to you. So I'm sitting there waiting as the 3 dots go, showing that these people are texting me in this game, and nothing is happening for like a time.
Yeah.
So I skip that, and you can't skip it, and you can't auto make it just show up. You have to wait whatever the preset time limit is or whatever. So then I'm going into other text messages and doing the same thing, where it's like I get to the point where it wants me to select something, and then I'm waiting. So then I move on to the next text message. I had probably about 12 of these things.
Oh, jeez.
And my wife was sitting here watching me play it, and she's like, is that all this game is a bunch of text messages? I'm like, no, man, I absolutely hate this right now.
Yeah, it is right now, yeah.
Well, and she's like, yeah, because, I mean, in real life, you don't even answer. It's like, no, most people I have blocked. Well, not blocked, but I have silenced. So,
right.
Like, when I get 12 text messages, I never hear it, and I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad I made it above the silence list based on our experience last week.
Well, and I was telling her, it's like, right now, the only character I like is the cat, because it's not texting me right now.
Yeah, Pocket's great.
So, and I do like the claws too. That's really awesome. But
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I'm pretty close to the end of it, just because I am getting all of a sudden these character interactions, and everyone's already talking about how summer's coming to an end and all that.
Yeah, there's only 2 dungeons, and the second dungeon is shorter than the first one, I believe.
Okay.
So
I have not been looking up a guide, because you don't really need a guide for this
not
at
really,
all.
No.
So
when you go to fight the final boss, the game is like, this is the point of no return. Do you want to do this? So like, it will be very clear about the ending.
And it's also worth mentioning, like, that there is no negative to the gifts as well. Like, when you give somebody a gift, they will like it, they will super like it, or they'll be okay with it, or they'll just say, nah, that's not for me. There is no negative drain at all on it.
Yeah, which is nice.
I already did that, where the first gift I gave, they absolutely loved it, and then the second gift I gave to somebody else, they absolutely hated it, to the point that it was still in my inventory.
Yeah, they're like, no, you can keep that, thank you.
Very cool, at least it didn't waste the item. But
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm pretty far into. I got to be close to the end. haven't had a chance to get back into it yet. But that whole text messaging thing, and then I kept it so that your mom, quote unquote, could still text message you, because I guess that's something you could turn on or off in the beginning.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was just like, let's just keep it on and see what happens. I thought it was kind of a weird, thing to want to have on or off. But then the mom just kept texting me, and I was like, Jesus, this is like me trying to avoid my real family.
Right.
It's like, will you stop?
Right. I'm busy having such a good summer. Bye.
But yeah, other than that, though, fun game. So I played that, and then I left. Before I left, though, I messed with getting Genshin Impact on my phone.
Oh, right.
Because needed those dailies, man.
Yep.
So playing on mobile, like I said before, it's not bad. It's just I'm used to playing it with a controller.
Mm-hmm.
And I have thick fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It's thick with 3 C's.
That's right. Got big paws.
Yeah, and I have a decent, what is mine, an S20? Samsung S20? So, I mean, I have a decent-sized phone. I'm just not used to the button placements, and since I don't have that feedback of, okay, I can feel my thumb slipping to the next button, so I know I'm hitting the wrong one. I'm not used to that on mobile, because there's nothing, you don't have that tactile feel of, oh, your thumb is way too far over and you're not attacking anymore, you're just jumping now.
Right.
Because I played with my son to help get our dailies done and all that stuff, and it would never fail. I'd be in the middle of attacking, and the next thing you know, my character's I'm just spamming jump, and my character is just jumping. Yeah. In the middle of a boss fight.
Right.
So it plays fine. I've gotten more used to doing it now. I still don't like it compared to playing it on console.
Yeah. It runs really well, though. It's pretty impressive.
Even playing it on I actually had 5G out in Wisconsin, which is weird because I didn't have that in Michigan for some reason, but it plays super well on 5G. So
nice.
But yeah, it's just getting used to that control, getting used to the fact that if your right thumb isn't touching one of the buttons on there, it's your camera move. So playing with a bow character is kind of difficult because you're trying to charge an attack while you're trying to aim and move them at the same time. It's all sorts of weird. It works once you get used to it, but when you're first trying to figure this all out, it's like, oh man, this is not good.
Right.
So, other than that kept me going for that. Played a couple times with my son. Everything went fine. I did end up having to link a unused email account with my PlayStation account so that I could get it to work on mobile. Right. And now I have it where my progression is linked to my phone and my PlayStation, no problem.
Great.
I also found out when I got home that because of the update, I'm guessing it's because of the update that came out, that the version of Genshin Impact that I've been playing on my PS5 has been the PS4 version this entire time.
Oh, no.
Well, surprisingly, though, playing the PS4 version on the PS5, you still get like a lot of good
you still get like 60 frames and the load times.
The depth of field that I was talking about and how it loads faster. I mean, that all still applies. The only difference seems to be, since I figured that out, because now it tells me, hey, this is the PS4 version, instead of me having to dig through menus to figure out what version I'm on.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, let me download the PS5 version. Thanks,
Sony.
Yeah. It looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference I have noticed is that the button prompts, instead of them being black, are white to match the controller.
I think it's native 4K too instead of upscaled, but I think
maybe
I think it's not like foundationally different.
I'm so used to playing it on the phone now that I'm like, oh yeah, big screen TV. This looks so much better now.
Right.
But I haven't noticed a big difference. It still looks fine playing it either way. So I got rid of the PS4 version, moved over to the PS5 version. Yeah. That's running great. The next game that I played on mobile has been Pokemon Go. Only because I see a lot of people in our Discord talking about it. It's like, man, I haven't checked it out since it came out. I'm in a state that I don't know, places to go or any of that, so I'm just going to wander around with this on.
Mm.
And yeah, I think I have like 192 Pokemon now. I have so many gifts to give people, which I have someone from our forum. Crap, I cannot remember their name now. I have one friend from our Discord on our phone, and I've been showering them with gifts like every day because I have so many gifts. And it's been going back and forth. Like what are we, like friendship level great now or something? We have like these little heart bars that we're filling up. I don't know what they do.
You're great friends now.
Yeah. So that's been interesting. The only downside is that you only have, was it like 300 inventory in your backpack, and if you want more, you have to pay for it with real money, it seems like.
Barf.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, this is kind of just a fling. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for, and I don't want to put money into this.
Right. I'm only in town for the weekend, baby.
Yeah. So I've been going through and deleting like a bunch of extra stuff that I don't need, like potions. Haven't used a potion because anytime I've done the battle stuff, which I'll get into in a minute, if your Pokemon pass out, they seem to just come back to life. So I'm sure I could use them in the middle of a battle, but the thing that I've been running to with Pokemon Battle is that all my Pokemon CP power level, whatever they call it, is so low compared to everyone else that I have fought that it doesn't matter how many potions I have because nothing's going to work. So, like the game keeps telling you, it's like, hey, you should do the battle thing where it basically just groups you with a random person to fight against, and you can pick whatever Pokemon you're going to use. It automatically fills in whatever the most powerful ones you have. The first time I did it, the most powerful one I had was like a Snorlax that was a CP of 404 or something like that. And everything else was like 100 or 90 or whatever. I get into my first battle, which is supposed to be battle capped at 1500 CP, and this guy has like all of his Pokemon are like 1500 CP.
Oh boy.
I'm like, okay, I would have thought you would have kind of eased me into like the kiddie pool area of, hey, you don't have Jack, let's put you up against these other people that don't have Jack. But no, it's straight in the deep end. I have not won I think I've done it 10 times. Yeah, 8 or 10 times. I have not won a single battle.
Jeez.
Because I don't have high enough Pokemon.
Right.
So it's all right, cool. Let's just go through it, because every time you catch Pokemon, you get the little candies. You can feed them to your Pokemon. That increases, their power. You can give them new skills if they have it, and you can evolve them if they have it. So I've been catching everything and then transferring them and all that fun stuff. And I think the highest one I have is 900 now of just screwing around with this game. So I'm getting there. It's a hell of a grind just starting out messing around with it. So, but yeah, it's still kind of cool walking around, like just seeing what the Pokestops are. I have a bunch of Starbucks ones, just walking around. There's this random McDonald's one. I went to the zoo today for my kids. They had it all over the place, where it's like, hey, this is the penguin Pokestop. Yeah. The gyms were like, hey, this is the Warthog gym. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just sitting there and swiping. So yeah, that's Pokemon Go in a nutshell. It's been interesting. I don't know if I'm never going to put any money into it, but seems fun. My very last game that I have the least amount of time with is Tales of Arise.
Yeah.
Oh no. We called it. We said that this was why you were off it, so you could beat this game by this week. So
God, I wish. So there was a bit of a mess up with this game. I got the collector's edition through Bandai Namco. The day before the game was supposed to be released, which was on a Friday, they sent out an email saying, hey, due to shipping issues, blah, 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 we'll keep people informed who have the CE edition through us whether or not you'll get the game on Friday.
Okay.
I'm like, well, that sucks. And because I'm getting this email, I'm guessing that means I'm going to end up being one of those people. And sure enough, an hour later, I get an email saying, hey, due to shipping issues, you will not be getting your game this Friday. But as an apology, we are giving you a digital download code for the PS4/PS5 version of this game.
Hey, nice.
Cool. All right. I'm fine with that. I can, I technically got a second version of the game that I can play for both PlayStation 4 and my PS5. I was at my hotel at the time. I woke up my wife, told her, "Hey, turn on my PlayStation so I can remote into it, so I can put this code in, so we can download." Blah blah blah. So once I got home, I turned that thing on, and my God, is that a good-looking game?
Yeah, looks real good.
I am at the point. The whole background story behind this is that your main character is a slave. They have basically an iron mask on their head. Yes, they have amnesia. No, you don't know what they look like. What other key points am I missing in a JRPG? I have not found a dog smoking a pipe yet.
There's still time.
I think I would lose it if that.
Right.
But yeah, so basically, you're taking over this character. He does not feel pain. He does have this basically iron helmet on that he can't take off. It's like full enclosure kind of thing. It actually looks a lot like the Cyber Ninja helmet from Metal Gear Solid, which is kind of really cool. And the story goes that the Renans from another planet have come to your planet, and 300 years ago, they basically wiped your planet out because of their advanced technology. So now all the Danans on that planet are slaves now. So already off the bat, this has some really strong Star Ocean story plots to it, which I love Star Ocean. I am not that big of a fan to say all of them are great. They are not.
No.
But there are a lot of them that are great and are cool stories. And this almost feels like this could be a Star Ocean game. No problem.
Yeah.
So as you progress in this game, you find this woman. Her name is Shion. Nobody can touch her. Anytime you try to touch her, she basically has like this attack that goes off that she can't control that causes a lot of pain to the person. Guess what? Your character can't feel pain.
There it is.
Yeah. So it doesn't get weird, but because I was about to say, so you can touch her all you want. And I'm like, that's kind of poor.
An unlikely duo.
So what ends up happening is you find out that she has a master core. This master core allows you to pull out a sword from her chest because, I don't know, anime. And
it looks cool. Like,
yeah. So does that make that person a treasure chest?
Hey-o.
Yes. Because I was also going to make a joke about how you pull the master sword out of her master crest out of her chest.
Yeah. Tales games.
I know, this is so crazy but fun. But the story, even though it is dealing with a lot of kind of heavy-handed stuff, it is still lighthearted enough that it's not depressing.
Right.
It's not like you're playing God, I don't even want to say. You're not playing Schindler's List, basically, even though it has tones of it could be a Schindler's List kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The characters keep it pretty light. I now have 4 of them. I have beaten the second Lord out of 5 in these areas. And I'm just really enjoying running around just doing these dumb quests that they keep giving me. Like, hey, we just need these monsters destroyed in this area, and we'll give you money, and here's some items. It's like, cool. Haven't, run into any issues with the fetch quest stuff yet, because I'm still all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about it. So whenever I get to the crafter, and they're like, "Oh, you need like 15 of these hard bones," like, all right, let's go out and kill 20 of these monsters.
Yeah, let's get in the field. Let's do it.
They've upgraded the fast travel system, so basically you can fast travel anywhere now. You can save anywhere.
Nice.
I'm playing on the PS5. I'm assuming it's all exactly the same on the PS4. So there's a lot of points where you can just pull up the current map you're on. You can keep following exits that you've been to before, or you can just go up to a world map, pick the the area location, dig down to a specific point in that area, and just fast travel to it, and you're there.
Nice.
So I know a lot of people were having concerns about the CP with the healing.
Yeah.
The CP, I'm playing on normal, which is the default. I have not run into any issues where I've run out of CP.
Mm-hmm.
As you continue playing, there are random things in the game that start to happen. Like in the first dungeon area, you run into like these flame walls that if you want to basically bring them down, you have to use it's like 17 CP to do it.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, so you do that, and there's usually something good behind that, treasure chest wise or whatever, for you to get, so it makes it worth it. And so far, there have been enough like campsites or rest areas or whatever that automatically refill that for you. So it hasn't been an issue.
I did read a review too that says that at about the halfway point in the game, you can start buying items that will refill your CP. So it sounds like at some point it's not really a problem.
Right now, before I even fought the second Lord, they've changed what some of the gels do, because Tales games used to have SP or MP or whatever, depending on what one you were playing. They've changed it. I think it's since Zestria. They had the little diamonds there for AP for you to use your Astral Arts and all that fun stuff with. That continues on in this. So that's how you're using your Astral Arts, is you don't have the MP, you're just using these little diamonds, and then they fill up.
Yeah, you have like charges, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they've changed what some of the gels do, whereas the orange gels now, instead of healing your magic points or skill points or whatever, they now heal your CP.
Gotcha.
And you still have the item cap of 15 for all items you can hold, except for crafting items, which go up to 99. So I had so many of those before I went to the other one that I was waiting to spend it on the side stuff. So then I can be like, okay, I have this orange in a chest that I can pick up. I'm full right now, so let me go run around, do all this stuff, unlock these extra side areas, use the one orange gel I have so that I can open the chest to get that orange gel back in my inventory.
Right.
I'm just a complicated mess. I don't like to waste items. So.
Yeah.
But, and the best part that I almost completely forgot, your item accessories that you can pick up, you find random owls throughout the game. And those owls are wearing the accessories.
Yep.
So when you find them, you can see what accessory you're about to get. And I'm talking like sunglasses, bunny ears, bunny tails.
A cowboy hat.
Yep. It's stupid crazy. And the best part is that you eventually get to the Owl Kingdom, which is like this off-dimensional, like Moogle town kind of thing.
Right.
Where there is a king and a queen. And you see each area has its own tree that's designated. Like the first area you were in was basically like this fire brimstone area. So the tree for that area is basically looks like it's on fire, and all the owls that you found are perched on that tree.
Cool.
And it tells you, hey, it looks like you're missing it looks like a few more owls could be perched up here.
Oh, okay.
And then you look around and you can see all the other trees and how many owls you have. So they all just sit there. So you can look at these weird owls that have cat ears and
dog tails. That's pretty cool.
And then you get items for the more owls you find and stuff like that. And the character Renwell, who is a mage, she has a pet owl whose name is, wait for it, Poodle.
Great.
Yep.
Love it. Thank you, JRPGs.
Hootle will pop out with your character every once in a while if it senses there's an owl near you. And these owls, if you get close enough, you can hear them go, whoo, whoo.
I love JRPGs so much.
I know. This game is so off the walls in the right places. So I'm still really enjoying it. I have beaten the second Lord. I can move on to the next area now. Currently, I am doing side quest and trying to find whatever item it is that I need to craft another book for Renwell so I can get her boosted up. They've also changed it so that your characters, the skills that they can unlock seem to be kind of a mix between once you hit a certain story point, certain characters will unlock a new title. Or once that character has done something specific, they will unlock a new title, which is basically a disc that shows up that has these little spheres on them. No, they're not sphere grids. Each disc has five, or title disc has 5 spheres. You unlock the first one when you've unlocked the title, and then you can unlock the rest of them using the SP that you gain after battle. So you're basically just trying to get the SP up, and then you can start getting the extra skills and all that. Other than that, though, it plays like a normal Tales game. Like, you're character that you control, you've got manual, semi-auto, and auto. In case you don't want to control your characters, semi-auto makes it so that if you hit attack, they'll run towards, the closest enemy in attack. Manual makes it that you just have full control. So if you hit attack, they're going to be sitting there whiffing it at air if you're not, locked on, and close to anything. And then the same thing with skills. When you are controlling a character, you only have, I think it's like 6 skills. I haven't done it with the mages yet, so I don't know if you can hold down, like R1 to get an extra. I think
that unlocks later.
Yeah. So I guess for right now, there's only 3 skills that you can use on a character. But when they are being controlled by AI, they have like their full roster of skills that they can use.
Okay.
So it's not that bad. I've died several times, not full party wipes, but just, S happens, it's a boss fight, and all of a sudden the guy that I was controlling is dead. I've gotten enough items that it hasn't been a problem. Xion is pretty decent at healing. So between everything, I think there's a pretty decent balance with how this game plays.
Nice.
And I am really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say about that. If you want to try a Tales game, check it out.
It sounds like a good one to hop into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb, fun stories all around. Oh, you do not get fall damage in this game.
Yes.
And there are some really tall things that you climb that I have accidentally jumped off of and thought, well, I'm screwed. And then the guy just rolls and he's like, oh, I misjudged the landing on that one. And I'm looking at my HP. I'm like, nothing dropped. Thank God. Because I haven't saved in a while.
So happy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's it. Tales of Arise. Really good game.
I've got a whole bunch of sort of little stuff to blow through here. Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 8 has started. Some stuff happened in the story. The island has a lot of cubes on it now. The cubes are named Kevin, which I think is great. I think that's a community name, which is perfect.
You say community name?
Hello. They're going.
No, that was a legitimate question. That's what it sounded like you said.
No, community named. I think the community has named it Kevin. Nothing major is different here between Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. The one notable Battle Pass character at the very end of the Battle Pass this time is Carnage. Since Venom was available in the game earlier, now Carnage is going to be available at some point. Nice. But otherwise, it's Fortnite. Season 7 ended in a really cool way. Season 8 started in a cool way. It looks like there's some cool stuff happening. I tried SkateBIRD.
Okay.
I'm
this
here
is
to...
one of the culprits of my hard drive issues.
Yeah, here to report. I don't like SkateBIRD. I don't think that game controls well at all. I'm gonna try it again in a couple of days. I might just have not been in the mood to play some SkateBIRD, but it does not leave a really great first impression and does not control in a way that I think is fun. I'm not super versed in skateboarding games to begin with, so it might just be like, yeah, this is how skateboarding games control.
I'll report back.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you think about it, but I didn't like what it was putting down at the very beginning. No Man's Sky, I finished this current expedition. My sneaking suspicion was right that as soon as I repaired my ship, I would probably finish the rest of the objectives in about an hour. That was correct. As soon as you don't have to walk anywhere and you can just get in your ship and do it, I knocked out the rest of that stuff pretty quickly.
Nice.
That's a cool expedition. I still really like the idea behind it. I wish... I am sort of hoping they don't do that again, because I think putting thousands of people on one planet at the same time breaks that planet, just in a way that makes it really hard to like complete objectives like build a base. And it's like, well, I can't, because there's too many other bases around. So I still need to go back in the expedition, go back to the starting planet and delete my base, That way I can sort of like clean up after myself to help other people that are hopping in. I still need to do that, but at that point I'll be done with the expedition for a while. I'm very I hopped back in today to like manage my outpost and stuff. All that stuff is still working really well. They've been patching it pretty aggressively. It seems like it's in a good spot.
I forgot to check that. My guys might all be dead.
Yeah, I went in and like I loaded, and there was a sentinel attack. I destroyed 6 sentinels, and everybody in the camp is just like, "Yeah, it's fine. Outpost is fine. Everybody's cool." I was like,
so this isn't like Tamagotchi where
yeah, no, I didn't.
All my guys are covered in poop and dead.
Yeah, just like, oh, that's No Man's Sky. All right, we'll find another planet. All right, bye. Mistakes were made. I finally did get a chance to start Psychonauts 2. I played for probably about a half an hour, so I'm still in the tutorial. Couple of things of note. I appreciate there's a 120 frame mode in that game. That makes the game look really good. And it does run at 120 frames a second, which is wild. The recap of what happened in Psychonauts 1 and the Rhombus of Ruin was greatly appreciated because I haven't played Psychonauts 1 since it came out on the original Xbox, and I didn't play Rhombus of Ruin because that was a PSVR game, I think.
Who knows?
So, yeah, I'm glad they recapped both of those things. And the tutorial level is the tooth level. So they just get right into it at the very beginning, and it is no good. And it's like the only thing in the game they don't have an option for. There are a ton of really great accessibility options for difficulty and display and all sorts of whatever accessibility options you would really want, except for the teeth stuff, which so far hasn't been really bad. It's just a lot of teeth that are everywhere. Nothing is really wrong with them. They're just a lot of them. And I'm glad the game at the beginning says like there's a content warning at the beginning that's like, hey, we deal with a lot of mental health stuff in here, like PTSD, anxiety, depression, like a whole list of stuff. We try to deal with them in a lighthearted manner, but if these are sensitive topics for you, or if you have issues with dental imagery, maybe please don't continue through this game. And I was like, okay, cool. But so far, it looks really good. It controls super well, and it seems pretty great. I just didn't have enough time today. I just started that this morning. I didn't have enough time to keep playing it, so hopefully I'll hop into that pretty soon. Last game here, Fuga, Melodies of Steel. I beat the Chapter 7 boss. That battle took me about an hour of just...
Did you sacrifice children to do so?
No, I did not sacrifice children. I beat it. I beat it fair and square. I eventually got the rhythm of the fight down. So it went pretty smoothly, even though it took a really long time. Hilariously enough, this isn't really a spoiler. Chapter 8's boss is literally like 2 helicopters and a tank. It's just like normal enemies you fight, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wipe these guys out, and then like a giant drill is gonna come out, or like a giant laser gun, and it just, that's all you fight for the boss. They're very much like, look, Chapter 7 was rough, we get you, we're gonna be pretty easy for a little bit here. I did finish the game. Boy, that last chapter goes some places that I really appreciate when Japanese games just go real crazy with it. I finished the game with 10 out of 12 children. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh no.
Those were not my mistakes.
They were their mistakes, and that's why they're not there to hoist the victory flag.
That's right. I'm. Some of you will die, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. No, it's there. I didn't realize that I was making choices throughout the game and I made every single one of them very wrong. And as a result, I didn't get the best ending. Thankfully, the game at the end is like, hey man, do you notice it kind of went wrong? Here's a couple of hints for like maybe how you want to resolve that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, thankfully, they say, by the way, this game has a new game plus, which I did not know about, which carries over literally everything. Upgrades, items, experience, relationships, everything. Because I finished this game with my PS5 sits 65% of trophies, and I was like, cool, I like min-max the hell out of this game. I genuinely don't know how you would get the rest of those. The answer is New Game Plus.
Yeah.
So carried over all that stuff, sort of have a plan now to kind of wrap up the rest of the trophies and finish the game with the best ending. And I think I know how to do it now, so I'm well on that path. I'm blowing through the game now in like a matter of 2 or 3 hours. I'm at chapter 7 already. So it's been pretty great, and I don't have to deal with a lot of the systems in the game because I've like maxed all of them out, and they don't give me a super great benefit. So I'm like, there's one trophy where you have to max out the relationship of 30 pairs of kids. So that's a lot of what I'm doing now is like, all right, you don't have a level 10 relationship. We're going to talk until you get level 10. All right. Now you don't have one. Let's talk until it pops. And then I'll do this stuff at the end. But Fuga's really good. I really liked the entire thing. I really liked the story. I thought the final boss was really cool. You sort of fight it twice in different ways, and I think it's a really creative but not super difficult boss fight as long as you keep your head on straight. And I think it's really good. I think it was probably 20 hours and change for my first playthrough. So it's on the shorter end of an RPG. It's $40. It's on everything. And Cyberconnect 2 self-published this game. So like, if you think that game has sounded cool over the last couple weeks, go give them a support. Because they seem like it's selling okay. But I haven't heard anybody else talking about it. So I'm, hopefully they'll get some more support. But Fuga's great, and I'm really curious to see what the true ending is going to be, because I genuinely have no idea, and I'm kind of having a really fun time mopping the floor with all these bosses, where it's like, oh yeah, that like this was a super hard boss fight, but now I'm doing like 2,000 damage a shot, so I think I'll just shoot you 6 times and I'll be done. So that always feels great. I appreciate having
power
a good
fantasy
New Game
in the
Plus.
JRPG.
Yeah, like that's when I appreciate when a New Game Plus is done well like that, where it's like, all right, cool, I fought the first chapter 1's boss and I literally one-shotted it, like even through its armor. So yeah, let's go, let's do this. Like, I'm getting my revenge. So I'm almost at the point where I can start kind of curating the flags that will hopefully lead me to the true ending. So hopefully I'll wrap that up this week and move on to something else. But that's all I've been playing this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick bio break, and I'll be right back.
Dude, on this show, we refer to it as a bathroom break.
I'll take a quick potty break.
You said bio break.
I know. using my MMO terminology. I'll use my 4-year-old terminology and say I'm going for a potty break.
There we go.
I ain't shit for news this week either.
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't either. But if Boston says there isn't anything for news, I believe him. do something, and I completely forgot what it was. Dude, so sleeping in my own bed, most awesome experience ever. I
wonder why.
I did not bring a pillow, and their pillow, it felt firm, and then I laid my head on it, and it basically deflated. It was like, what is this garbage? So I had like 3 of them, like packed down that I was trying to use, and it just was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just happy to be back.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Which is why I'm so out of it right now. I'm just sitting here thinking, I said, crap, I still gotta do laundry.
Yeah, I've still got to unpack mine.
Yep.
Daniel Craig gave a little speech at the end of shooting for No Time to Die.
I heard that got really good reviews. So far this week.
I have no idea. You know what pisses me off?
What?
Really pisses me off, if I'm completely fucking honest. So, as you know, I'm a Dune head.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Dune release schedule?
I haven't seen the new one. I thought it was, last I had seen it was supposed to be, you're talking about the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it supposed to be coming out in like November or December?
So it releases in the States in October 22nd.
Oh, okay.
It released in Italy on September the fucking 3rd.
I was going to ask, does it come out everywhere else today?
Literally, September the 3rd, and then it moves eastwards before it eventually gets to America on October. Like, everywhere else on the fucking planet is going to have it, except for here.
That is so stupid. I wonder why they did it like that.
I don't fucking know. Probably because everywhere else on the planet is dealing with COVID better than this place.
Oh. I mean, yes, but
dude, so give America a month or two. Let's see if they can get that shit locked down.
No, fuck no, we can't. We're still arguing about if Trump won or not. I ordered a shirt from Penbucks. I forgot to bring this up in the pre-show. It was a Falcom 40th anniversary t-shirt, and I wanted it because it has East characters on it, and it's got all the Trials characters on it. And that thing was stuck in U.S. Customs for weeks. Like, it hit the main customs out in Jersey, I think it is. Which, anytime I've imported anything from anywhere, Japan, UK, Middle East, no problems. This tiny little cube box that has my t-shirt in it had been stuck in customs there. It then gets to Kentucky, which it gets stuck in customs there. It then gets to Illinois, which it's stuck in customs there. Then in Illinois, they say they're going to send it back to the sender, which I had to call customs there and be like, no, the fuck you're not, because I've been waiting forever for this shirt. Then it gets to Indiana somehow and is stuck in customs there, and then finally makes it to Michigan and then just shows up at my door. It's like, it's a t-shirt. Like, there was,
right.
I've had all kinds of weird crap that I've imported that have gone through customs in Jersey and then just came straight to Michigan, no problem.
Right.
For some reason, this t-shirt screwed everything up in the U.S. customs system. And so I'm opening the box, and like I said, it's like this little cube box that they shoved the shirt in. It was great. And all of a sudden, I see like this little yellow thing come flying out, and they gave me a pin box rubber ducky. And I don't know why, but it also squeaks.
So I'm pretty sure that my birthday present from 2019 from the UK is still stuck in customs.
Right, correct. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't understand. What about a T-shirt? Maybe it was the duck. I don't know. Maybe it kept coming up on X-ray, and they're like, "What the fuck is this duck?"
Is that the duck from Hitman? I've seen what that thing does.
It's just the craziest, stupid thing ever. It's like, why is this being held up so many times?
Right.
My daughter is enamored with this duck now, and she wants it in her room.
All right, you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
Yes.
Please wait while the moon pier loads.
Sure, why not?
Starting in 3, 2. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of September 19th, 2021. Kena Bridge of Spirits comes out PS4, PS5, and PC. I've been looking forward to this one for a while because I like character action games, and I think this looks pretty cool. Probably gonna wait for reviews on this one. I think it's only $40, which is a very great price, especially since it's not $70. So appreciate that. Pokemon Unite comes out on iOS and Android. If you want your current Pokemoba obsession to be with you on the go, you can do that. I know literally nothing about that, like any cross-save, cross-play. I have no idea. I'm trying to keep that game at arm's length because I feel like that might be the Pandora's box opening into MOBAs, and I definitely don't need that in my life, so...
And I don't need some 12-year-old calling me a scrub because my Pikachu isn't pulling something in a forest of some
Look at this scrub jungling with a Pikachu. It's like, oh my god. Use! Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Sable comes out on Xbox One, Series X, and PC. I'm 99% sure that's a Game Pass game. I believe. But don't quote me on that because Moon is not agreeing with me, which is making me doubt myself, and I'm just going to keep spinning until he says something. Oh god, please say something.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh no. Death Stranding.
I keep in touch with this kind of stuff?
Death Stranding Director's Cut comes out on the PS5.
It does have a Game Pass logo.
Oh, thank God. I really love Kojima on Twitter being like, Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming out. It's not a director's cut. I didn't approve the name. It's not really. We didn't really cut stuff. We added it. It's like, I get it. I get it. You love movies. Just chill out. It's cool. You got a little platform that walks with you. It's your buddy now. It's fine. Everything's fine. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot comes out on the Switch. That came out last year. 4 years ago in 2019? I don't remember. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember people liking that. That's a CyberConnect 2 joint. Hey. Last but not least, Lost Judgment comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Reviews on that are all over the place. Seems like that game is, from a gameplay perspective, still pretty good. From a story perspective, maybe a little bit insensitive in the way that Japan can be insensitive about some sensitive topics. So,
the usual.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing for a game coming out in 2021. So, keep an eye out for some of that. News story this week: BPM Bullets per Minute comes out on PS4 and Xbox One October 5th. Managed to miss not this week, but next week, where apparently every single indie game is coming out on the same week. They'll be following up the week after that. So if you haven't played BPM, highly recommend it. We did a series on We Roguelike It about it. I think it's a really great game, and I am total garbage at it. So if you if that carries any weight, I think you might like it. If you haven't heard of it before, it is a first-person shooter rhythm metal roguelike. So You have to keep the beat to metal music to shoot zombies and demons and stuff. And it is
real good.
It's real good, and it is real metal. It's very good.
Which, if you haven't been doing it before this game, what have you been doing with your life?
That's right. Let's move on to emails here. Carrying over Jamie's email from last week. Dearest Boston, Moonpier, and the Nymph, as someone who is sadly unable to afford a major console right now, also parenthetically, I will say, you probably can't find one if you could afford it. I was wondering, I'm looking for a PS5 for my wife because she's playing No Man's Sky. Sorry, tangent. She's playing No Man's Sky again, and she's on a launch PS4. And I did a test the other day where she got to the point where you're flying through the starfield and it's like loading your game.
Yeah.
While she was in there at like 17%, I was able to fire up No Man's Sky on my PS5, pick my save file, load it, and land on the planet before she had loaded it on her PS4. And I was like, yeah, we should probably see if we can get you a PS5. So that'll be a fun adventure, somehow trying to get a second one of those. As someone who's sadly unable to afford a major console right now, I was wondering if you could answer this question for me. What are the best roguelikes available on iOS right now? Free or not, I don't mind. I also have Apple Arcade, so if any of them are available there, yay. Love you guys so much. Jamie, aka Pharaoh Reigns, in Twitch. Trans gamers rule. Which, yes, they do. I went and looked. I first started with Apple Arcade, and I said, surely there's like 150 games on Apple Arcade. There has to be a roguelike in there. I don't see any. So that was surprising. There are some cool RPGs. There's a bunch of Kairosoft games. Like, there's a bunch of stuff I would recommend anyway. So like I still have Apple Arcade. I think it's a good value. So I did some digging and I grabbed 8 games that are roguelikes that are available on iOS. Looks like all of these are still available on iOS. Some of them have some asterisks, but we've played a bunch of them on We Roguelike It, so I know Moon at the very least can join in here. First off, Crypt the Necrodancer Amplified. That is available on iOS. Amplified is the version with a bunch of DLC in it. Crypt the Necrodancer is an incredible game. That probably works pretty okay with touch controls, but if you have a controller, that will probably be a smoother controlling experience. Exit the Gungeon is a roguelike. It's sadly Enter the Gungeon isn't on there, but Exit the Gungeon is, which is a pretty different game. Road Not Taken is a turn-based puzzle roguelike that we have not yet played on We Roguelike It. Pretty difficult, but pretty fun. I like that one a lot. FTL, I forgot, is on iOS. Wow. I think it's still only available on iPad, because FTL on a tiny screen is not going to work.
It's hard to touch everything that you need to.
Yeah, like it probably will literally not function. So FTL is always going to be a recommendation. Dead Cells is on iOS. That one is probably, you're gonna want to have a controller for that. You can probably play it with touchscreen, but I'm gonna think that's gonna be pretty hard. Dead Cells has so much game in it that I still think it's crazy it's on mobile devices, and I think that's an easy recommend. One we played on We Were Like It not too long ago, Downwell, is on iOS as well.
That's a pretty solid mobile game. It was designed for mobile originally.
Yeah, and it's super cheap. It's really great. You and your gun boots go down a well, and it was, I think it was way more fun than I think we were expecting. We were worried we were going to stretch it out to a month, and there's a lot of stuff in that game.
It's got a lot of depth.
Heyo! Slay the Spire is also on iOS. That's a game I think Moon and I have both been a little hesitant to bring up to play on We Roguelike It, because I think it's going to be a a problem for both of us, as in, here's the only thing I've played this month, it's Slay the Spire. I talk about opening Pandora's box. We have not yet done that. Slay the Spire just leads right into Monster Train. I don't think that's on iOS yet. But Solitarica, of course, the old Solitarica.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
Yourself some Solitaire and Roguelikes. That's a good combo of them both.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good like wind down at the end of the day game. It's not very intense. There's no time limits or anything. It is difficult, but it's not, adrenaline pumping or anything. And then the last one I recommended here is Rogue Legacy, which I didn't realize was on iOS. But Rogue Legacy is a cool what is it? Genetics based 2D platforming roguelike, where you try and continue your lineage from one run to another. That's a cool game. I haven't yet played Rogue Legacy 2 because that's still in early access. But I liked Rogue Legacy 1 a whole lot. But yeah, that's those are kind of the high points that I saw there. It's sort of funny because as big as roguelikes are, and as popular as that subgenre continues to be, there's no filter in the store for just roguelikes. Sometimes they're in action, sometimes they're in puzzle, sometimes they're in simulation, so they're kind of all over the place. But those are a good selection of kind of big name roguelikes, a lot of which we've played on We Roguelike It, so we can say that they are of a solid quality. And yes. I couldn't think of too many more that I have played that I liked. There are a couple where it's like 1-bit roguelike, and it's like, that's okay. That's not that great. So some of them are free, and you can kind of roll the dice. No pun intended. Sorry. I'm trying to delete it. Sorry. But I'm gonna skip because we're sort of running out of time here. I'll carry T-Bomb Rock's question over to the next week. That's our episode this week. Thank you for listening. You visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including a link to our Patreon at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
There was a brief moment I did not know what was going on.
The call just dropped.
Everyone was just staring at me, and I'm like, "What?"
But you're staring at me. Yeah. We talked about all the cool episodes you can get over there. We're rapidly approaching 800 episodes over there, which is just insane. But your hard-earned money helps support the show, helps cover the cost of hosting and software and all that stuff. If you want to see where all your money goes towards, I'm very transparent about the total breakdown of costs on the show. And if you get us to the $250 goal, I start playing spooky, scary stuff at night after my family has gone to sleep in a dark house by myself. Mm-hmm. So if that doesn't appeal to you, I would remind you, I am a giant chicken, and I will be wearing headphones. October approaches. Do with that info what you will.
I cannot wait for your wife to walk into the room and just scare the hell out of you.
Just scream at the top of my lungs. Yeah, it's just...
What you're saying is it's time to get baffling for the doors, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to... Yeah. I'll get a clip worthy of live stream fails, finally. But you can support us over at patreon.com/E1M1. That's it for this week's... Thank you. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Man.
So, did you notice how the light went away and my light got better?
Yeah.
So, the new light definitely works, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, turn off the old light.
There you go. Mood lighting. Okay, Nymph. What are your titles?
Now it just looks like you're in a room waiting to be interrogated.
We know what you've done.
Fine by me.
Where's the vaccine?
I have Siren Song of Automation.
Yeah, yes.
Engineer Alley. should be over the fire. Friendly fire person. The cube is named Kevin. And cube munity.
Moon, what do you have?
Never breathing. The Game Pass curse. High as hell. Synths in the front, Xenos in the back. Engineer alley. Wall of orange. Kinda just a fling. And baffling the doors.
All right, I have the Game Pass curse, the Siren Song of Automation, Engineer Alley, and Synths in the front, Xenos in the back.
I saw you laugh when I said that. I think
I forgot about
we have a winner.
It's so
That's
long, but like it's so good.
That's the only reason I didn't write it down, because I thought it was going to be too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not like we've done long ones before.
Yeah. So I put a check mark next to Game Pass Curse, Siren Songs of Automation, and Synths in the front, Xenos in the back. But I feel like the Synths one is probably our front runner here.
Oh, you
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'm a circle in it. Know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Oh man.
It's always scary when someone says that so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, what are they gonna say?
You had that loaded in the chamber.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 726 for September 20th, 2021. Synths in the front, Xenos in the back.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Synths down, Xenos up.
I quit. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. Greatly appreciate it. I hope we'll see you all here again next week. Bye.
See ya.